10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain. Dire's turn to pick. Radiant must choose.
Keeper of the light.
Dire must choose.
Earth Shaker.
Seconds. 5 seconds.
We have ourselves a draft between Alliance and OG. On one side, OG so far with 2 victories on the board, and on the other side, Alliance without a victory on the board. And this series, they are so important, and Alliance really wants to make it into that top 4, and they need to take series off of one of these teams in the upper echelon at the moment, and OG is one of those teams. We're joined by Purge on the big screen. I got Kyle and Moxie. We're in the draft, actually. We're already 2 picks in. Purge, I'm gonna let you go first. We got the openings with the Shaker and the Puck and the Coddle and the Pango. What are you thinking?
All right, so all the good counter push heroes, you know, these are both beneficial for both teams because you can slow down your opponent's game by delaying the time that it takes for your tier 1 tower to die. So both teams will be able to have some solutions there, some good team fight, obviously. The Pangos maybe the most surprising, I guess, as the pick here, because it's a little early and they get to pick the counter pick on the Puck, but you know, you can play around it, so it's not super bad.
It's deceivingly similar to an opener we saw a couple hours ago. Wonder if that was prepped, if that's something they've gotten from scrimming each other, or if they just saw it in the match and wanted to use it. Whereas OG, massive amounts of team fight, global mobility, wave clear. Big fan. They also ban out the bat. Kind of makes sense. We've been teasing Alliance for picking it 3 consecutive games, but Nigma did beat it with arguably the best Slark in the world twice. If you're not comfortable with it, it might not be something you want to do yourself.
And maybe they protected them from themselves, you know.
Well, Lib is also a beast on that.
That's true. Maybe Thompson just really didn't want to play Slark. Nah,
the other reason they picked up the other reason they picked up the Slark, right, was because of the fact they were picking Wraith King every single game. To counter, get all those.
10 seconds.
That is just annoying now, and he's really point in leaving it in the pool if you know someone's very comfortable with it.
OG are also arguably one of the greediest macro teams in Dota. Like, they're always playing like all the lanes. They're running at you, keep running at you.
Yep, I think Purge said that one of the things is don't panic when OG comes with crazy stuff. Do you consider Pangolier in the first 2 to be something that Alliance should panic or should worry about, should counter in their draft, or you feel like Puck already is doing that by himself, herself?
No, I don't think, like, if it's like a, I mean, Pango's already been pretty flexible as a core. I mean, more like when they take a hero that's consistently seen as a core and then they make it a support and it provides like a weird game state. It's like it's harder to read the game then because it's something that you haven't played against. And we've seen DP support a couple times now, but that was the first thing that really surprised me that they did. That they pushed themselves in a weird comfort zone kind of, and they had some weaknesses in another area. But as long as you understand how the hero fits and what their weaknesses are, you can solve that with items or by avoiding bad game situations. And the better players are going to be able to do that more flexibly. So we haven't really seen any weird shit out of OG just yet, but I'm sure it's coming. It'll be there.
I'll have to give him my copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Draft later. It's got the words "Don't panic" in a nice friendly letter on the cover.
Always bring a towel.
It's very true.
They still have Naga Siren available in the pool, which is kind of interesting considering how much OG valued that.
It's the Monkey King first 2 ban. I think without that available in the pool, they just don't really have
Value
the
it as highly.
synergy.
This would have been the perfect time to play the soundbite of Kyle saying, "Why is it wet?" But it didn't happen.
The thing is, the Naga, you have the minus armor in lane, and like then you have Orb Corruption Monkey King, plus the later combo. Like it's a good lane, and it's an awesome combo. Without it, I just don't think they care Naga as much. This sets up OG for the Furion. Just saying.
No.
No, the game's already taken out.
Already out.
Nice, good job. I was
were
testing
smart.
you guys. The Beastmaster though is still available.
Yeah, he is. I know you had to check just to be sure.
Cheese. You're always throwing me under the bus.
It's so easy though.
You basically crawl underneath it yourself.
I just lie down on the road.
Yeah, we have got the IO. I think this.
Are we setting up for something like Luna? Or
No, please no.
God no.
I was just saying, I've seen some Luna, and I've been told that Io and Luna is okay together.
We're not going for okay.
We are not.
When you're playing versus OG, you can't go for an okay draft. Wasn't that exactly what Mid One said? Yeah, we played Alliance. They're an okay team. That was not a good.
Oy. Weaver. All right, this Alliance lineup's fast but very squishy. I love the Ember pick. We saw Liquid first to the Coddle Ember. I'm surprised it's actually still in the pool. Yeah, like the pace OG can play with, like they're just so strong, the fights. And there, yeah, I was gonna say, Alliance, you have to play real fast and kill stuff. You can't kill DK. It's a point and click stun against Weaver Puck. This is great.
There's quite a few magic nukes on Alliance side right now too. That ended up being one of the things that really hurt Dragonite in the last game we just saw. Was that in that like mid game phase, if all the heroes are there and they use their magic nukes, he just dies. So they don't have that many coming from the Alliance side just yet. Weaver's going to be effective against Pango at least in terms of like dodging things, and Rolling Thunder's not that scary, but Ember Slight Chains is scary. Dragonite can be scary, so I just don't feel super comfortable with Weaver. I feel like it does pretty good on the laning stage, but it has issues in ultra late games sometimes, so or often I would say.
Yeah, I just don't like Wisp with Weaver as a pairing. When you think Wisp, you think, okay, something that benefits from having a fountain, right? And typically spread damage as well. Something like that's both durable and fast, and like Gyro. You turn mana into faster farming.
Yeah.
You deal a hell of a lot of damage, whereas Weaver, like, you're not really playing with the Wisp. You're also very squishy. You're not a frontline hero.
You want to
Weaver
dart
isn't trying
in and
to
out.
jump. Exactly.
You're not looking to just stand your ground and fight.
The best Wisp partners are like the Tinies, the Svens, the Gyro. They just run at you, but they're faster and stronger than you expected. And you can't do that with the Weaver in this game. But we'll see.
Maybe there's something else that you can do that with still.
It could be offlane Weaver.
Sure.
Core Wisp? I don't even know though. Puck mid? It's more likely Puck mid because it's limp.
Yeah.
But into DK.
But I also feel like Nico Baby Weaver, I feel like Nico Baby can do better.
No, it's comfort zone to your point, but I'm afraid it's the same thing we saw. And I know we've been memeing on the bat, but it wasn't the bat as much as you're putting, I think, your most skilled player and the pace setter for your team in limp on a hero that has an unfavorable matchup and is answered throughout the game. And that's the issue here if you put him on Puck.
It's one of the... Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like if they put Ember in the safe lane with Coddle and Weaver lanes against him, it's actually not that bad for Weaver IO. Because outside of, like, you can dodge Illuminates, D easier with Sakuchi. Ember normally just does Slight Harass to harass his opponents down, but IO regen can offset that a bit, so I think that could be maybe what they're going for.
Is this a mid Grim? There is a chance that it's Pango 4, right?
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I think it's more like...
you got DK, I guess.
It is?
I really want to see mid.
It's OG. It could literally
It could
be
be
anything,
anything.
honestly. Let's be really honest, guys. We could see a Grim.
Support DK.
Yep. Support
the-
Ember.
The
Harry Coddle.
OG lineup's just so scary. Like, you have these 3 cores that are full divide, 2 supports that make them better and stronger and provide a lot of utility. And the Alliance draft, like, I'm struggling to see the last pick that brings it together. Like, I actually think they need that Meepo Alchemist type hero. Because right now, they're not in control of the win condition. All of their heroes are answered by the OG draft.
Well, they got 50 seconds to come up with an answer to OG's draft. You know, the key to this draft. you will. I think Alliance is one of the only teams that, so far in this DPC league, has consistently picked their mid hero in the first two. If this is indeed a limp puck.
I mean, maybe they were trying to do the, like, hey guys, puck could be anywhere, but it's like you have to like do it once in a while, throw it in the support role to like really make them. But like I don't necessarily see Alliance being as willing to do that.
Yeah,
that's what kind of makes this. It's like gives the upper hand to teams like Secret, so or OG, because you just really don't know what they're gonna do. Because
they do everything. Yeah, you gotta have something to back up the claims of well, a flex pick in this case. Yep. Let's see. The Beastmaster coming out. So yeah, puck mid
choice.
Beastmaster into Pango, Ember, oh man. You know, it's Wisp Beastmaster. These are two pretty incredible heroes. I just wish it wasn't a Weaver.
Mid Grimstroke!
All right.
DK offlane. Pango.
I mean...
I like it.
It's really good against Puck.
Are you waiting for me to say something? I want to hear the final thoughts from Purge first.
Grimstroke is mid. That's all I know. I don't know what the lane matchups are going. But DK against the harass of the enemy should be pretty good, I guess. So, but it's weird. I don't know. I'd have to stare at it for another 3 minutes to be a good answer. So.
That's okay. You can stare at it for however long the game lasts. We'll be back to you, with you after the game. What are you thinking?
I think OG, they have favorable matchups in all the lanes, and unless Wisp Weaver just crush and they take total map control 3 towers by 12 minutes, it's just such a hard game for Alliance. I feel like they have to play so much better. It's DK Ember, like, hey, we're gonna stun that guy. He's real squishy. He died. All right, cool. Next. It just, I'm not seeing it, but I'm hoping Alliance can surprise me.
I mean, stuns win games. And also, I don't have faith in this Weaver. I hate to say it, but I don't see how he fits into the grand picture. Like, it looks like it's just way too hard to execute this draft, so I'm gonna have to go with OG.
All right, well, it's an opening game. How is it going to play out? What form are these teams in? We're gonna find out together with OD Pixel and Bees.
Thank you very much, team. Yes, ready to go here with Alliance versus OG. Ryan, we've heard the panel's opinion on the draft. They seemingly favor what OG have here. What's your thoughts? I mean, can Alliance do this? They do have Nico Baby on the Weaver, and this guy's a bit of a beast on the carry Weaver.
Yeah, they pretty much all got all their eggs in one basket. They've got the Beastmaster aura, they got the IO, they're amping up the one guy, and it's the Weaver. That's the only concern I really have. It's not that I doubt Nico Baby's capabilities on the hero. I think if Limp turns himself potentially into a right-clicking core, that this could be more doable from the side of Alliance to scale like they need to. I think both lineups have playmaking potential, so despite whoever comes out to an early advantage, if somebody does, there will definitely be some brawling to come back into the game. A lot of goal presence on both sides. You got Keeper Light Recall, you got this relocate from Wisp. So it's going to be a lot about these like micro movements.
Yeah, and on the sort of side of OG, what obviously the Thompson Grimstroke coming in again, you sort of look what it's playing up against. You think this is a game where Thompson's got a pretty good future ahead of him in this match?
I would just say they have a nice balance of guys that go in and guys that sit back. I think Grimstroke's very much enabled by the teammates that he has. He has a lot of nice ink-swell targets, even in the support Pangolier. It's a great person to just throw into the middle of the fight. And it's going to be really difficult, I think, to get on top of him. And it's going to be a lot on Limp as well as Nico Baby to manage to kind of sneak back.
Yeah, we'll see how well Limp can do it mid-matchup. I mean, Limp Puck, definitely one of the finest pucks in the industry. We'll see how well a lead he can get against Thompson, or if Thompson's going to cause issues for him in the laning stage. I mean, let's start looking at the side lanes. We started here from the panel, some of the strengths they thought were going on for the duos. Is there any sort of matchup you think that's going to be hard for one of the teams here?
I'm definitely curious about bottom, because as we see, Seb actually levels his stun level 1 just to make sure that Fox's Illuminate hits. I think Nico Baby is going to struggle a bit, because once he gets some points up in the armor, Seb, he's not really going to care about the damage that Weaver's outputting, and thus he can kind of just play up in his face. Weaver's got pretty low base armor. I love the DK pick. I think it was the best pick of the draft. Basically said we have a super tanky stunner that you can't do anything to, that can find any of your squishy cores out.
And sort of the overall game, how does it look for a carry Weaver? You know, is this a game where Nico Baby's going to have a lot of difficulties ahead of him when you see what he's playing into?
Dire's current
I legitimately don't know what item build he's gonna go for. Like, I would lean towards Maelstrom S&Y because you have a lot of enablers to keep you alive, and you just need to survive through the disables. That's gonna dish out with maybe like a quick follow-up from the Grimstroke. But he might just have to go for that early BKB, and if you've got a Wisp behind you and a Beastmaster Orb buffing you up, that's just not what I would deem like a full good. You know, you're excited to go BKB second item on Weaver.
Yes.
I think one thing that's definitely going to be fun to keep our eyes on this game when we look over to the carry of OG, Mid1 on his Ember. But we've seen it from Mid1 in these games. He likes to bring something a little new to the table sometimes with his builds. Do you think there's going to be any sort of inventive items coming out from Mid1 this game?
I would be pleasantly surprised if he goes for the Boot to Travel Midas.
On the Ember, let's go. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be a Desolator. I would like to see as his like damage item. They've got a lot of magic damage, and they've also got low armor cores. Weaver starts with 3 or 4. Puck starts with about 0, and he can really make it so that they just get blown up before they can even react.
See bottom again, just still 7 stacks. You're getting a lot of damage done here. Opening with the Dragon Tail, and still no points to the passive, just going full on the offensive here, Seb. 2 in the breath land instead of course with the stuns. Tiesto down bottom, seeing Nico Baby not have any trouble at all. 16 last hits against Seb's 12 and 3. And the mid matchup for now, pretty even here between Limp and Thompson. I guess both heroes with solid nukes to just sort of bounce the lane back and forth between each other.
I would imagine mid's pretty much just a trade. They both have reliable ways to CS. They can both avoid the other person's nukes. I don't see how they could ever really deny each other much at all. This is interesting. You don't really see the DK skill build like this at all, but I guess the Keeper of the Light Chakra Magic really does enable certain wonky skill builds that are usually mana limited.
On the top half of the map, S4 still finding, you know, not quite as much as Seb is on the respective offlane on the other side, but still not getting completely zoned out. Next presence of FNG. FNG taking the time to move over towards mid. They're going to look to try and set up onto Thompson. Thompson going to ink swell himself, forcing Limp to jump away and keep his distance. But Thompson's very low right now. Phantom Embrace and the nuke going to be dodged very nicely by Limp with the phase shift. And Thompson, sorry, has he got any regen? He has. So Thompson's going to have to take the walk all the way back to base. So a nice bit of pressure there from FNG on the mid, giving Limp a free wave or so.
Yeah, the pace of the game tends to ramp up a lot around the 5-minute catapults and bounties, and I've been seeing a lot of mids who end up not getting the bottle refill at 4 minutes. Choose to just go back to base. Seems pretty common nowadays, so don't fret if you find yourselves in your games in a similar spot.
Back to lane now, no tail whilst the space was there. To hang around, make sure XP wasn't missed out upon. See, the 5-minute runes, no tail. Step up, down, bottom. Kevin trying to get aggressive onto Staxter. None will hold him back. Does he want to try and chase the call? He won't. Start to have to think about these 5-minute runes already. Top of the river, FNG. That Fisher, make sure that he's able to pick it up before no tail is. And Limp coming across to get that one on their half. I think it's 2 for 2 on the bounties.
For my cause.
Just what I've been waiting for.
All in all, a very close and passive start. Nobody yet to fall here 5 minutes in between Alliance and OG.
I like the skill build from Member. They don't really have any aggressive potential because Penglier's a relatively weak laning 5 position, and the fact that you have this really strong laning independent Ember Spirit allows for you to have this Pango. So he's kind of just choosing to go for the constant harass of Flight, but then he's going to still enable his own farm and also ways to deal with the waves so that Beastmaster can't really set up any tower pushes by going for no points in this.
Sitting around the mid lane again, FNG. come across. Again, Alliance just having the superior control around these power runes. Limp able to grab that DD up. And now they've got to be on the ready here. He has hit level 6, but actually not opting for a point in the Dream Coil quite yet, Limp.
Eager to know Dire.
I guess that does speak to the pace of the game. Both teams, I think once they get to those timings, it's gonna be from 100 to or 0 to 100 real quick. As of right now, it looks like this is the first time I've ever seen somebody skip ult on Puck. But if Earthshaker intends on staying mainly around the Beastmaster top, then I don't think he will ever have the solo kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, and skipping it again. Yeah, hits level 7, still not putting a point in the Dream Coil. I mean, as you say, if he doesn't need it, he doesn't need it.
This is just confidence on a hero to go this really wonky skill build. Saw the DK bottom, see the Puck skipping coil here. These guys have definitely been in this spot before, and they just know what to expect coming in the next few minutes.
Top lane, S4 now with the Necro out, putting a lot of pressure onto Midbon. I mean, Midbon's just out of mana. He's just dead. Okay, stick charge on the side of Fish gets the run it out, but he hasn't got enough to jump to it. I mean, that Necro book just destroyed Midbon. He just slowly let himself get beaten down and the mana taken out of it. Over towards mid lip. Trying to play aggressive in onto top. TP backup coming in for OG. FNG's there on the side with Limp to back him up. Got the DD as well here on Limp. He wants to get back into it. 7 over to FNG finds the setup. Extra damage to the stacks with the Illuminate. Limp still able to jump in and clean up the mid kill. Thompson goes down. An extra TP coming over from OG. They're bringing in Midbon. They're going to look to try and get the catch onto Limp, but Limp, he's more than fine, of course, with this skill build. As you say, no points in chain, so they don't have the setup, and Limp's able to get out of there.
I like what Alliance is doing. These early moves are really nice. They're pressuring multiple points on the map. They're getting some nice kills, but yet OG still has the lead. You can see that all 3 cores farming really well.
Bottom tower is in danger.
That haste rune just allowing him to get straight back down to the bottom lane. And we'll see him farm up the blink on the DK to make sure that OG's got that solid initiation.
I take what I
mentioned there as a great target for Thompson to buff up with the blink as well and have that first jump in. You know, Limp at his level 8, holding on to the point. Does have the point ready to drop. Just sees an opportunity to get active, potentially on the side lanes with the Dream Coil.
The best thing for OG that the Beastmaster War, even though it got the kill on the Ember, it didn't result in a tower or loss of farm. The Pango took over the lane, they were still farming the mid lane, and we might see a repeat here, S4.
Again, just this mana burn from the Necro Bugs just causing such an issue here for Midbon. It's easy kills anytime he shows in the lane here. 2 times now, S4. Just he's loving life up there. Down bottom, they're going to try and make an aggressive move onto Zeb, setting up with the Dream Coil. Have they got enough damage to break down this Dragon Knight? Zeb tries to turn Hulk back to one of them, but it's not enough to stop him from going down. Tips out as well here from Nico, baby. Top lane, they're hunting in the trees to see if they can get No-Tail too. This, again, just the power of S4 and this early Necrobook timing that you can get on the Beastmaster. I mean, I've never seen sort of the rush get so many kills. Sure, getting it this fast, you're going to have that pressure. They've already lost 3 heroes on this top lane to the Necrobook.
Yeah, they're electing to leave the Coddle bottom so they pressure there rather than try to alleviate some pressure top, which is interesting. They're definitely paying the price for it on the side of OG. But yeah, this is a 10th pick Beastmaster. Really good Beastmaster game at this stage.
Regeneration.
A lot of point-click targets to you roar them, they're gonna die. And also the Earthshaker setup to make sure he can reliably get the roar off on a hero like Ember is quite nice. But just notice how OG just has so much wave, and even when they're getting these kills, they're getting these dives. Now OG's finally going to make their rotation, and DK's ultimate is at the ready, and they might be the first to take an objective despite a lot of these early kills going through.
These gross beings.
see how much pressure they can put on the top lane. And G gets it again. Fisher into Raw, into Goodbye Mana. I mean, these two are just crushing this top lane. Like Midbon, he's died it 3 times now, Brian.
Yeah, that one might be. That might be called.
Bottom lane. Ooh. I'm gonna have to blast to the side, knocks FNG away before he pops the Echo. So OG able to keep the majority of them out of the range of that setup attempt.
Is under attack.
As OG, can they chase here? Alliance doing a good job of just getting away. They have lost the tower, but not losing any unnecessary heroes here. Alliance, they can just keep themselves completely out of there. Of course, with all these kills S4's got up top, he's now able to finish off the tower. And here, 11.5 minutes in, he's already got the level 3 Necro.
Jesus. 3rd time's the charm. You get the tower. 3rd kill on mid one. I wonder who they're gonna have take over the top lane. Will it one of the supports? Pangolier and Coddle are both good options. Looks like they are gonna send stock to the top. And look, if they're going to feed somebody now, at least it hopefully won't be a super high value target.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Absolutely, and Midbon's got to find his space elsewhere on the map. How's his farm going? He's got the Javelin, yeah, just trying to rush that Maelstrom here.
It's not in my nature.
To help him sort of pick his game back up as he's understandably with those 3 deaths that he had up there, falling a little bit behind on the Ember. Bottom set. He can get the walk in, but TP is already coming over towards the outpost. Alliance there, more than happy to fight this. They're just going to turn them straight towards them. No-Tail topping it up, and the Hydra taking the first blow. Good angle with the rolling thunder, though. No-Tail catching on to the 3 of them. H12's going to call up onto Limp. Hey, look at Handscap providing the heals. The face him, not just a slight miss, but the chains are up. Limp wants able to lock him down. They'll kill off Limp. Because maybe with the time that's Will manage to get his way out. As at the same time on the top half of the map, S4 picks up another. Takes out Saxon. They may have got Limp, but they've still got 2 overall. Midbon's continuing to try and chase onto Hansken. With Nico Baby by his side, OG have to hold back. They can't dive in any further onto these.
It's nice to see that OG lives the same life that I live when they play against Beastmaster Dispatch. Whoever goes to the top lane is just gonna die. I know we all talk about the memes of the dead lane and everything, but this Beastmaster hero is ridiculous. There's this like fight going on bottom, and S4, he hasn't moved. Like if you see his heat map, it's top lane. That's all it is. He's been sitting there pushing it in, worrying whoever shows up when his Necro book's available. And since that cooldown got reduced instead of 2-8, that's pretty much all the time.
This is yeah, some pretty flawless Beastmaster play here from S4 so far. They're going to try and make a gank onto it. No-Tail trying to close in with the Thunder. What sort of backup is there? FNG's waiting in the shadows. So No-Tail, he's going to be fine there. FNG not quite able to block him in with the Fisher. As No-Tail gets out, but again, you know, those 4 of those trying to sweep across. They really want to slow down S4's game, but unable to do so there, as S4's going to continue to have all the space that he wants of it.
That is such good map awareness from S4. He has been aggressive 14 minutes in a row, and the one time they make a move on him, he was fully aware of it. He was backing off before they even got there, and it's so important he stays alive. He's 5-0.
Yeah, this is
#1 network.
It's going to be any better for him so far, and he's ready to turn it into a 6-0. He's in with the smoke with FNG. They're going to set him on a No-Tail. There it is. It's going to be another one for him. For sure. Maybe not with the swashbuckle, the slow. Still causing issues. No-Tail. He's got nowhere to roll out. The damage from these Necro books. It's too much here. Another kill. But S4 completely unstoppable on this Beastmaster. And hey, would you look at that? Perfect position to start having a bit of a chip at the tier 1 tower mid.
Progression for Beastmaster, you take the top tower and eventually you look to invade the mid tower, whether you casually walk there or whether you turn it from a smoke gank. Really, even though it gets denied, that's just such an important tower to take at this stage against a hero like DK, where he wants to take your mid tower. I know it's not a mid DK, but the team that takes the first mid tower makes it harder for the other team.
Going on down Limp. Orb's already out. He's able to jump away. And we're seeing this a few times now. You know, OG tried that sweep on S4 up top. They're trying to get Limp in the jungle. Alliance doing a really good job this game of staying a bit of a step ahead of OG and making it hard for OG to make these aggressive moves that they kind of need to succeed with the lineup that they have.
Yeah, Necrobook 3 is dead, so this should just be a free tower mid, I would assume. But thus far, Alliance, like you said, their moves have been quite good. I would say that I don't know what they do without the Beastmaster's Book 3. That is really the hero. So glad to see they agree and they back off. Weaver, he's got Jester, Maelstrom, no boost on. Okay.
Trying to get in onto FNG. And step full up, he'll have it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I like this Weaver build a lot. You don't need boots necessarily when you have the IO and Sakuchi. The Sange makes his game so much easier to play because he'll be able to much more reliably survive through that initial volley of spells, plus up the healing he gets from the IO. OG looks to want to make a move top.
Tricky one to catch though, especially with Hanskin by his side, and Hanskin's already ready to take him out with a relocate.
Yeah, that was never going to work, I think. Alliance just has really good positioning on the map. Really good awareness. Was instantly ready to dodge that gank. That's for dodge the smoke gank earlier. Hanskin, I guess that's the price they pay, and I'm sure OG kind of expected that to be the end result if IO was behind him.
Fine. Didn't out that move, but still 9-5, just a 1k lead. It is close. Alliance.
So he's got the Boots of Travel Midas Ember version. He's going Maelstrom into Boots of Travel.
Alliance with this high catch. One of them walking up here, yeah, Raw. Down onto mid one. You're going to have Step jump in for the backlines, for the Fish is only going to finish mid one off. As mid one goes down, Zeb popping the Outer Dragon form, opting to try and fight, but he's completely out of mana thanks to the Necrobook. As Step is going to get left behind, the rest of his team bailing on him. As Step goes down, Nico maybe getting in aggressive with the chase onto Thompson. It's firing from him, and the damage here from this play, causing No-Show to have to jump out. Thompson's also been split from the lineup as Thompson falls. Double kill for S4. As they're really struggling, OG here. Alliance just each and every time creating this impenetrable defense that OG just can't seem to fight into right now.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is a bit lazy for middle. He just walked up a high ground with no vision, with all of Alliance missing, and it definitely requires Alliance to be properly positioned at all times to punish that sort of move, but he was #1 net worth on his team despite the rough start that he had, and he just walked up the high ground and died instantly with no impact at all. Alliance capitalizing to the max on that one. They're now up by 5,000 gold at 18 minutes.
Yeah, this is looking like such a cleaner Alliance compared to what we saw from them in the first series that they had here in the league. They definitely went away and did their homework, and they've tightened up their gameplay dramatically between that last series and what we're seeing from them now. As this is just top form Alliance here, and big smiles from S4. I mean, you can't blame him. He's 8-0-1 on his Beastmaster. He is having quite the game.
Yeah, I don't know if OG was ready for this. Alliance is playing so well. I feel like both drafts had nice win conditions, and Alliance's draft, I would say, was a bit more fragile in terms of the timings that it had to hit, the map control it had to siege early, and they are doing it.
Seb, be looking for some sort of setup there. Cautious though, as Ken and Nico Baby there by the side, and of course Hanskin ready at a moment's notice to bring Nico Baby straight into the action. Anti-Rune's coming up soon. Seb is gonna jump in on this. I mean, there's a relocate coming over. Okay, Hanskin's captured by his side, but already Lynch jumps on the backlines with the Dream Cross. Seb is dead. The Thunder comes out, the Fish is in place. Nico Baby's going to start to poke the backlines, but towards Thompson. S4 just standing his ground with the BKB. And Nico Baby and FNG look to chase them down. Midwalk's going to roll, but the echo's down south. Midwalk's locked down into the silence. Midwalk goes down. It's 3 dead on OG. Thompson's trying to run. He's out of mana. He's also going to fight his team wipe. I mean, what is OG doing? They're just making it easy for Alliance. I mean, that was a pretty wild initiation from Zedra.
Yeah, I feel like S4 had to work really hard for his earlier kills, but the last two have just been towards blinking or walking up high ground into him.
I mean, yeah.
That's to mess up. Like, we have to make these corrective plays, and if Alliance is not ready for them, they will work, but Alliance has in the right position, and it's just so clean. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, as you say, I guess OG waiting for a mistake from Alliance. This Alliance doesn't look like it's going to make any mistakes this game. From what we've seen so far, I mean, how big their heroes are getting. Nico Baby, the next thing you know, he's going to have his Skadi complete. And then once he has that on top of the S and Y, there's going to be more than ample time for Hanskin to just get in every single time and offer up that extra bit of heal and sustain to make it very hard for OG to ever be able to burst through this Weaver. Bottom lane Limp, he's in with it setup, onto Rip1. Rip1's down, roar onto Notel, holding him in place in the Rolling Thunder. And they're just chasing for more. There's just no stopping here from Alliance. Straight over to Thompson. Thompson cannot do anything against the 4-5 of them surrounding him and taking him down. It's 20-5, 21 minutes in, 9k lead for Alliance as they are completely dominating OG.
When he's got the Wisp tethering him, the Necrobug move speed aura, and Sakuchi, he's at 700 plus movement speed on Nico Baby. So with that's without boots. The record, the SNY is actually more value because it's bonus percent movement speed, which Sakuchi is flat bonus move speed. So he's getting like basically more than boots out of an SNY. We are concerned about Weaver's survivability in tandem with his lack of damage early, but he has his hit claw, has a nice neutral item, and he's able to skip the boots, so his other timings are coming online much earlier. Weaver does suffer with regen. He's a hero that usually has to go for like a Falcon Blade or an earlier Lincoln Spear against a hero like DK. This IO is definitely enabling Nico Baby to just go for all of these luxurious items that feel really nice about.
Bottom. I mean, Mid1 tries to go in onto FNG, but Limp's in with the backup, coils down. Mid1 getting burst low, Notel in with the Rolling Thunder to provide some safety for Mid1. He ticks down low. They do get FNG over to the side. Thompson was trying to join the team, but S4 puts him in position with the Roar. Saxon trying with the TP out. Is he going to make it away? He does. Only just, but again, Thompson dying, S4 continues to just sort of take whatever he wants it each and every time. The Roar's guaranteeing a kill, and there's no save from OG. As soon as S4 opens up onto someone, it's an easy kill for Alliance.
Hanskin has pinged Seb here. They obviously don't see him based on what we see with their wards, but they know that Seb was not at that fight, and he must be somewhere else, and there's not too many options left. Seb leans up the triangle, trying to complete his BKB. I think that fight honestly wasn't that bad for OG. All things considered, there were a lot of narrow escapes coming out from them, and then in the meantime, Seb was completing a crucial item on the other side of the map. So this may be go time. I don't really know when there's a better go time for OG. BKB from DK, he has blink BKB at this point. I don't even know if it's enough to draw damage now. Might just be too overwhelming, despite the fact that DK was meant to be tanky in this game.
Yeah, I know, just Nico Baby, so huge. I mean, 24 minutes in. Maelstrom SNY Skadi, as we saw there on the numbers, is just under 3 minutes faster than what you can normally expect to see on a Weaver. They're looking for a fight here, Alliance. And Seb, he's going to try and start it. They're trying to get rid of Hanskin, see if they can burst the combo. But the ball's out onto Thompson. Hanskin's still alive. Can he finally finish him off? He can. Notel comes in with a Rolling Thunder. They get the kill, but Thompson's going to fall to the Necrobug. They've got the chains onto S4. Although Dragon Tail's done from Seb, but there's the coverage from FNG. Lays down the Fisher. Stops them from being able to kill off S4. As OG again just losing another horrendous team fight for themselves. They lose 4. They only get Hanskin, and they really had to throw everything onto the IO to even get that kill at all.
You know, I've had some casual Dota players come in and say, I feel like I can't have much impact in the offlane. I feel like I'm always reliant upon my team to carry me. And I feel like S4 is shutting that notion down. Like, I can't believe this. This is insane performance. 12-0-5. This is how you carry a freaking game from the offense.
Yeah.
Last pick, they trusted him to do exactly this by giving him last pick. I guess he gave himself last pick, so he trusted himself. Hey, you know what? Faith in yourself, that's important too. But Yeah, I don't know, man. This is such good play. Like they're dying to his stuff on the ground, and it's enabling so much to happen with these squishy heroes we were concerned about. So they're not so squishy when the threats are all just dead.
Just caught outside of the base. Nico Baby's going to chase him off. He's dead. There's going to be a buyback from Zaxter. They're trying to turn this around. No-Tail looking for the angle into the Thunder, but look, he's got the match community out. Good to go. Stands his ground. It's going to be Mip one out for the count. He has got a buyback. No-Tail trying to TP away. They're going to be able to kill him before he's even out of there. As No-Tail's out of the game. Zeb and Zaxter just getting pushed back to the fountain here by Nico Baby. As there seems to be very little that OG can do right now to hold Alliance back. 29-7, 18k lead. And 26 minutes in Alliance, they're taking the top racks. Tier 3's down, racks are exposed. It doesn't seem like OG can hold this at all. He's dead. I mean, he's got nothing here. He's trying to run, but they're underneath the tier 4s. It's getting messy. It's getting very, very messy here. As again, you know, this is so different to the Alliance that we saw the other day. This is the Alliance that the fans expected to see, and my goodness, they're getting a show right here in Game 1 against OG.
That might have been the funniest use of Echo Slam I've ever seen. FNG, no blink, but just a shard. And Echo Slam to keep the Aftershock stun on Thompson, so he wasn't able to cast any of his spells. Yeah, the GG's call. Absolutely outplayed by Alliance and OG there. I thought both drafts were very nice. The panel seemed to favor OG. That's when you know it's probably going to be Alliance tiled on the panel. But I'm just impressed, man. There were so many chances for OG to fight their way back into this game with these clever smokes to try to catch out these cores. Every single one of them was evaded by them.
Yeah, this is, as you said, the entire game, from the very beginning, this was Alliance with very little, if any, mistakes. This was pretty flawless from Alliance and against OG. So this is, you know, exactly, you know, what you want to see here in the league. You know, these teams that some people would expect